Hey, you guys, let's go. Look, transformer hit, knocked out all the electricity around the neighborhood, but we making it do what we do. So come on in as we try to set up improv this thing uh, on the campus. We still here, y'all. Morris Brown College live from the studios, outside studios, 102.6, the situation, outside edition. All right, so come on in. You may see. So do you want me to add you on him? Okay. All right, so y'all should be able to see it. So you're muted. I got you muted. All right. So y'all come on in, y'all y'all pray for us. But we gonna make it do what it do. We gonna make it happen. Live edition, y'all, outside. This is You've Got Mail, messages from him. DJ, hit that. You got mail, messages from him.
Wait, where DJ Prince Saturday morning, I'm going in. Yep.
We tuning in. What? Hey, Saya, what's up, sis? Look, y'all see the campus. We are outside live, y'all. The You've Got Mail outside edition. The transformer in the neighborhood went out. See, that comes from everybody. Memorial Day coming up in the city. Y'all think Corona over. So, y'all done blew out a transformer, y'all. So we don't have no electricity this morning. So you know how long it takes for Georgia Power. But look, that ain't gonna stop the show because I got this dynamic duo with us today, y'all. Dynamic duo, LaRon and Lisa up in the studio. They like literally from Albany. Is it Albany or Albany?
However country you are.
How much train you want to put on?
However country.
Because I remember when I first got to Atlanta, I would call it Albany. And then, but a lot of folks would be like, no, it's Albany. And I'm just like,
just all country.
So, they drove up here, y'all. They are a Ghost, what's up?
What's going on?
Nothing much. We make it do. Sonya said 229 in the house. She said just say the Baney. The Baney. So we just call it the Baney.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the Baney. The Baney. The Baney. Is it the Baney or the Beanie?
Nah, if you gonna say it,
it's the Benny. See, I told y'all. Look, I don't be knowing. I mess up some words in the heartbeat. But we are here live, and the engineer back here, he making it do what it do. He said we're gonna do this thing.
I just need Ghost to say it for me. I need Ghost to say it for me.
His signal went out. It must be a powerful show today.
No, you say it.
Yeah, you say it. Go ahead and say it.
What season is it?
Capricorn season.
Oh Lord.
I have to make sound effects.
Do what it do. The sound effects. Y'all, I am so happy that we again, this is live radio. Things happen. We got to keep it moving. But I'm so glad to have them. So y'all, she said y'all represent for us, Capricorn season. Sis, So hey, Tank, what's going on?
Good morning.
Tank the sports guy.
Hi.
We making it do what it do.
I'm here with her.
I'm gonna keep the kid.
How's everybody doing this morning?
We are good. We are doing this thing, y'all. We're doing this thing live, and it's again. I have LaRon and Lisa. Yes, that's right. So I'm gonna have y'all to introduce yourselves, and then we're gonna jump right in because I just spilled coffee on myself, y'all.
No.
I know this. You did too. Yeah, you're right. Now I gotta be smelling like coffee all day until I get home. So y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves because I want the world to know this is a dynamic duo. They've been on the show before virtually, and I've been on their show, but we plan on doing some collab because they have it's a awesome message and just the love because we're gonna talk about relationships today. So who are y'all? Who is you?
I am a divorced mother of two girls. after 10 years. So
Oh,
I have
wow.
a little experience, just a little bit.
Wow.
Just a little bit.
Got your foot wet.
Yeah, I got my foot wet. And I think I almost drowned for a little bit. I know.
Like
I
that.
had to come back.
Like that.
Like that.
Thank God for the life jacket. It was it. Yeah, so I'm a business owner, and I work full time in healthcare.
Oh, wow. Wow. Cool.
So you see, you have seen and saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with this pandemic.
Still see too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you want to turn your head and be like,
You're right.
You know, it's like, why do I have to be an adult? Can you trade? I want to trade with my kids. You know, since you feel like
Mama,
that.
you work too much. Yes, I agree.
Right.
Someone has to.
But isn't that followed by I need or I want something?
Right,
You know,
right.
You work a lot, yeah, but you know what? You're expensive.
Exactly.
Didn't you just open the refrigerator?
See?
Yeah. We got one that's the refrigerator is like a
On
revolving
hand.
door.
See.
It's attached to her hand.
All we do is hear feet going downstairs. What you going to get to eat?
I have a 13-year-old boy.
I have a 12-year-old girl.
Oh.
And
the other one's 9.
She don't eat. The 9
the
don't eat.
12-year-old
Really?
eats for the 9-year-old because the 9-year-old don't eat.
Wow.
Like, okay, why are you at the refrigerator?
Exactly.
And he looked at me like, what you talking about? I was like,
It's
we
been
meet
10
here
minutes.
He said, we meet here.
at least a couple times a day. And I
What's
personally
up,
buy the
sis?
groceries. So what's going on?
And we meet here.
It makes you question.
That is
So, where
funny.
you putting the food at?
Right,
But
right.
they look like he's like, technicality.
Lisa, LaRon.
Well, me personally, I
The
have
sound effect. Y'all, in the background, we have our engineer, and he's doing the sound effects. So come on. We didn't even do our what you call it this morning. We had our music, but that's
Clap on. Clap on.
Yeah, I'm a divorcee of 5
Okay.
kids. I'm probably a little bit more experienced than I want to be.
okay.
Yeah, I literally drowned, died, came back to life.
Brother resurrection.
Yeah,
He said drown, came back to life.
It was necessary for the transition.
and probably went then committed suicide because it went back. So
See.
yeah, the experience was needed
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me to get
yeah.
here.
So divorce, how long were you married the first time?
Wow.
On paper.
On paper.
On paper.
Uh-huh.
13.
13, and you were married
On paper, it's
8 years. And I was married for 6 years the first time. You know, and this is my second go round, but this is your first marriage.
Yeah.
But
I've
I've
already been told till life, your death do us part is real.
Hey, what's
Like,
what's so funny?
Angie, what's going
died
on?
in the process, so
Yes.
it was okay for me to say,
Yeah.
I need to reincarnate and come back
Oh,
to me.
see,
Yeah.
because I've gotten lost.
This is something we're starting to figure out with people that we talk to, and especially me, and then looking back at my parents
Yeah.
and stuff. Again, we, especially as a Black community,
Mhm.
we hold homage to the parents that are together for 50, 40 years.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then when you go in the house,
yeah.
one sleeping in this room and one sleeping in that
Yeah.
room, that's not a relationship.
It's not. It's not.
And that's a big fact that a lot of people hide.
Yeah,
Our parents were good.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were scientific.
Yeah. Right.
Go to bed. You hear me? They
Yeah,
ain't in the bed yet.
yeah.
And but we as adults, we follow. We made things appropriate. For
Yeah,
our kids.
yeah, yeah.
Right, like when the kids realized what was happening, they were grown adults.
Yeah,
And understood how the dynamics of the relationship work.
exactly. They
But now we
did.
don't do that.
We don't. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Like, the title of today's show is Healthy Love. And then it does, hey, Deja, it does, it is this, because I think we're so used to seeing the toxic relationships, you know, people cussing each other out. And it's like, no, I remember being in, I think it was high school, and I had a teacher. He said that him and his wife never argue. And so back then I was like, he lying, this, that, another. I'm like, all couples argue because, again, I love my parents, but I remember growing up, there were arguments. You know what I'm saying? So the arguments, and I'm thinking, how he gonna say? I said, so I actually asked the question because I've always been into relationships, even as a hey DJ, what's going on? I've always been into relationships. So my question, my hand went up. I said, so she just does everything that you want her to do? Like I remember, asking this question. And he was a white guy. So for me to have the attitude, like, so she just, do everything. He said, no. He said, we agree and disagree. He said, we talk about things. And so for me, I was like, what you mean talk about? Because again, even though my parents didn't argue all the time in front of me, but they had a lot of disagreements and it turned into arguments. But then I also saw, okay, the dad role, the mother role. And I'm like, okay, so is this the norm? And then as I got older, I saw friends argue with their boyfriends or have these relationships. And I used to say, there has to be another way. Like relationships are not meant to be taught. Like they're not meant to have fussing and cussing at each other. So we're gonna reset. We never argue. All couples do not argue, and that's something that I'm learning even with being married the second time. The first time, I don't remember arguing a lot, but I also remember me being controlling. You know what I'm saying? So and I'll be the first one.
There's no argument.
I own that, and that's why I always say he did what he did, but I also had to recognize what I did. I was very controlling.
We do a lot of
Right?
that.
Yes. And I
Instead of
remember.
thinking before you
She said
react.
Jesus grabbed the wheel after you. You don't.
And now me and my husband, he'll tell you because he's been married twice, so this is his second time, and he'd be like, "Man, I ain't about to go through this with you." And I'll be like, "What? So what you mean?" And then I said, "Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to argue with him. We can talk about things, and we're gonna listen to. That doesn't mean that we're perfect, but now relationships don't have to have all of this mess that you
I'm
said.
the first one to come off and tell you, I don't do arguments.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have the energy for it.
Right. And especially as you get older.
I'm not saying that the issue you're presenting to me ain't good.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't have a valid point. I'm just not gonna argue and yell at you.
Right.
We can talk.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation. Help me understand what it is, and I'll spit it back to you. And then if that sounds like it makes sense,
yeah.
Okay, we can figure something out.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be. You
better
do what I say.
I can't do that. And I saw somebody in the parking lot, and it was a lady. Yeah, oh my gosh, she was talking to this man. Really? Now I've never disrespected a man doing that. I've never done that. But I saw this lady. She was just going out. It is.
Can you write a book, brother?
I've had someone come literally to the gym. And I've had one to the job and jumped me.
No.
And I literally almost killed her. It was my kid's mom after I found out that she was cheating.
Wow.
Yeah. And the funny short story about that is I called him, and because for me it was my way out. So I'm like, if you want her, you can have her.
Right.
No, we friends.
You called
him. I was like, man to man.
He was gonna get that confirmation.
Yeah,
so
I'm man
really
to
what I think
man to
man.
Man. If that's what you want, you can let me so I can go on about my business, and he's like, nah, we friends. And maybe like a couple of days later, I'm at work. She comes up there. Her family knows my supervisor and stuff, and we all out there talking, shooting the crap and stuff like ain't nothing finna happen. At least I thought. And then he left when he decided, I'm gonna let y'all little birds talk and stuff. And then next thing she got in my face, how.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. So basically her argument was, I called him to question what they were doing.
Wow.
And it was unnecessary. I wasn't doing it. And so she basically, I've always been hit.
Yeah.
By some women. My mom always taught me never
to hit right.
A woman.
I've never.
So the women have always hit you.
Yeah, I've been hit with chairs. I've literally to this same person that I'm talking about.
Wow.
because I back then I didn't understand voting,
Right.
and I just didn't see the purpose of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she goes off on me and call me stupid and stuff. And I get hit with a chair and stuff and all this stuff. And I
Wow.
used to be a cutter back then to relieve myself.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
I got to the point to where she was fussing and talking down to me so bad to I pulled out a knife and she holds my daughter up.
No.
Yes. And right then she should have told me I should have left that situation alone.
Right. Right.
And instead of that, I cut myself.
Wow.
Walking, I'm bleeding, dang, near to death and stuff. But to get back to the other story, the sad thing about it is, the physical pain is not a problem. For me. You can hit me all day long, and I think that's like one of the worst things that you can say.
Because you become numb.
Yes.
Yep.
But when you hit me here,
in
words, here. And so supposedly we have 2 kids naturally. So we have an extra child that I went to Virginia, came back home. She was pregnant. And I said, hey, I'll give her my last name. No, it's a child ain't mine, but I'm going to take care of her and stuff. And so she keeps with this dude that she comes to my job and talks to me about it and whatnot. And so she's just tagging me, blah, 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 blah. I'm taking licks and going on. And like, you stop. And I grab her keys, go call her dad. So her dad come get her and stuff. I come back out there. Your dad's on the way to come get her and get you and stuff. And she hits me with, I done had 3 kids with a worthless, dumb, educated black man. Next thing I know, I blacked out. When I woke up, I had her dragged her down the street. My hand was on her throat. She was in a ditch.
Oh my God.
The supervisor had to pull me off of her. And I think really the only thing that brought me out of that darkness was me thinking about my kids.
Right.
If I keep her, not only are they going to lose their mom,
right.
they can lose me.
Right. So you literally were in an abusive relationship, but you were the man, which a lot of people don't think that men go through abusive relationships, because again, you all are taught not to hit the woman back. And I tell anybody, I remember teaching 5th grade, and my girls, around that time, they're learning themselves. And I remember this little girl, she said, Miss Collier, she said, tell her and a little friend, she was like, tell such and such that if a boy hit us in the classroom, that they going to jail. And I looked at my desk. I was sitting at my desk and I said, huh? And so I already knew the conversation that was going on in the neighborhood. You're already taught to plot against boys and what to do. And I said, no. I said, now, the thing is, and I told her, I said, you don't put your hands on the boy and the boy doesn't put their hands on it. I said, either way, both of y'all going to jail. She looked, right. And I said, and then that's something that has to be taught. Nobody puts their hands on anybody. But that was a toxic relationship. And Sonia says, thank God you have been delivered from that abusive situation, because a lot of people stay in these relationships. And again, that's their experience. And so when they do get into what are supposed to be healthy relationships, you don't know how to act.
I went from out of one abusive relationship to another.
So you kept the cycle going.
I kept the cycle going.
Really?
That was just a girlfriend, maybe mom.
Yeah, the wife.
When he got married to somebody.
The wife.
And it was an abusive relationship.
The wife became abusive.
So was it that you looked for that same relationship? Was that because it was comfortable to you? That's what you knew?
You want to know what? It wasn't that it was comfortable. What it was I was uncomfortable with speaking up. That's the better.
And so you were trying to be, that man, like, okay, she's a woman. I'm not gonna overstep that boundary, but not taking note that, hey, wait a minute, I'm a human. Like,
I'm with my
toxic
wife.
is toxic.
With my ex-wife, not a bad person. But after learning her past experience, her damage caused her to do the things that she was doing. Not an excuse. Not an excuse at all. Not giving her an excuse at all.
Right.
But what really messed me up with that situation was going right back to how we talk about our parents being together for so many
Mhm,
years,
mhm.
and then you also have the aspect of I gotta do it for the kids.
Yeah.
That's what it became for me. And then the fact of I've been trying to get married since I was 13.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so my thing was marriage. I saw my parents being roommates and
Yeah.
stuff. I was raised really by my mom.
Okay.
My dad was there, but he wasn't there.
Gotcha.
And I saw what my mom wanted from my dad.
Okay.
And so I felt like I had the blueprint,
Mhm.
the remedy to be in a relationship and treat a woman like I
Right.
was supposed to be treated.
Right.
I see what my mom needs.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was going out there. And I didn't want to be that man that should have been talked down, but I got talked down too. I
Right.
didn't have a backbone.
Okay.
I didn't have a backbone because my mom didn't have a backbone.
Okay.
So that's
So
the
technically, you were being the perfect man that your mom needed,
Yes.
not the man
Right.
you needed to be for whoever
Yeah.
you were with,
exactly.
for yourself and whoever.
Exactly. And so that was the biggest thing coming out of this marriage I had to learn was to be able to say no.
And you were married 13 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So 13
He
years.
said the first 2 years. was
First
all
2
he really
years.
got.
That's
What-
first 2 years. That's all I got. Oh, because again, she
Yeah.
and not to go deep.
No, I know what you're saying.
It went horribly wrong
Mm-hmm.
because when we first started talking, and my ex-marriage showed me that I need conversation.
Yeah.
That's sexy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I am a man at the end of the day.
Right, right.
I love sex.
Right.
Okay. But conversation,
Yeah.
if I get that on a regular basis,
Yeah.
I know the other part gonna squeeze up in there somewhere.
Right.
But a sexy conversation, I mean a deep at night, and that's why our podcast is called Pillow Talk.
Right.
And that's what we do. We have pillow talk.
Right.
And I love it.
So how did y'all know now, Tank? I know y'all been married 15. Y'all just celebrated, right? 15 years. So looking back on your relationship in the beginning, was there any toxicity or was it always like the ideal relationship that you've been in?
It was toxic because you have two different people
Mm-hmm.
from two different places. And the killer part about it is me and my wife. I mean, she was raised by a single mom. I was raised by a single mom.
Okay.
So being the only grandchild in the house full of women,
Okay.
Yeah.
full of single women.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you guys are seeing like, oh, he's so cute. And
Yeah.
that little 2-year-old is sitting there looking at y'all. And I'm not looking at y'all. And then my aunt one day was like, hey, he looking at y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is a little boy.
Yeah.
Y'all not realizing
Yeah.
what y'all are teaching.
Mhm.
So I saw it all from the angry, I mean, and the angry side, the nurturing side, and it shaped a lot of my ideas and what I thought about women. And that was toxic when you bring it into a relationship.
Right. Right.
Because you looking at things through the eyes of a whole bunch of women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I know some stuff about women that most men don't know.
Yeah.
That's me.
And then it's like, I had an aunt that recognized, she said, you know what, you got everybody else fooled. She said, you can sit there and you got everybody else fooled. My Aunt Belle, Big Belle. She said, I know who you really are. And she's like, you can sit there and come out here with 20 to 100 kids if you want to. Or you can use that which you know for something.
And I was trying to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take on and realize.
Yeah, and it even wasn't the fact that my mom was teaching
Yeah.
me, but it was just again, I got a caring aspect from her just by by being around her and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it just grew an emotional caring.
Okay.
And wanting to my sister and my brother, they opposite of me.
Okay.
They didn't need and it's something that I go back to my mom about, and she apologized so much. Sorry, I was a bad parent. I'm like, no, it wasn't that, because y'all were not raised
Right. Right.
to raise kids.
Right.
And your parents might not have been
Exactly.
raised to raise y'all.
Yeah.
So what we fail to realize is once we get an adult, and it's something I tell my son, my
Mhm.
youngest now, once you turn 18,
Mhm.
you don't be blaming your parents for something
Right.
that because now you, especially if you know
Yeah.
that you needed us to do,
Yeah.
that's gone.
Right.
I can't go back and be angry at my dad because my dad wasn't there.
Right.
I'm 41 years old.
Yep.
I need to go pick up a book.
Yeah.
I need to go find a
Yeah.
father figure that I could probably believe in if I need that because I know my dad can't. Right now, my dad is not capable
Right.
of
Right.
providing.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and God has sent me to talk to him plenty of times, constantly. And when you stuck, you stuck.
Right.
And I can't get
Yeah.
someone that don't want to. And I can say the answer to that question that you asked him. I think due to our previous toxification, we came in like
this ain't gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
Off the
Yeah.
top, I knew
No.
what I was gonna tolerate, what I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna tolerate.
No.
How far we gonna let
Yeah.
a miscommunication or misunderstanding go? We just not.
Yeah. Divorce does that to you. I was trying to explain that to somebody. Unfortunately, it does. It really does teach you. And, because you get married with the intention of it's gonna be like, yeah, exactly.
We think about all the work we had to put in between.
Exactly.
To make sure that it stayed the way it was.
Right. It's a job, and then
you're supposed to love.
right.
But
But we don't understand that we
People
don't.
don't understand the job description.
Right. And then you don't change. We don't factor in change. Each person changes. You know what I'm saying?
You go to sleep. When
My
you go to
ex
sleep, you're going to
did
sleep
not
a different
understand
person.
that
You're
at
going to wake up
Yeah.
a different person
Yeah.
because whatever happened to you today,
Yeah.
something traumatic could have happened to you
Right.
that has changed your view of everything.
Yeah.
should evolve and grow every day.
Right.
We wake up.
And we don't do that. We get stuck.
That's where they get this, and I can't stand when folks say, love me for me. Bro, you change every day. So I got to learn.
That is so
And
true.
it's something I tell her, I'll go to sleep and I wake up. I got to re-love her.
Mm-hmm.
That's my concept.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up every morning. I got to start back
Right.
up. And for me, that makes it new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but divorce is not an option for me.
Okay.
It's never been an option.
Okay.
But there's nowhere in the Bible where God explains that marriage is supposed to be hell on wheels.
Right. Right. And that is what I want people to understand. Your relationship is not supposed to be toxic. Period. You're gonna have. Me and Chef will have intense moments of fellowship. Sometimes, we do because we come to the altar. We go. Sometimes, but I've learned in this season and learned this time, like, you know what? There's a different approach to everything, and you have to be sometimes it's not necessarily being the bigger person, but when you mature, and especially if you're maturing in your spirit life and all of that, there's different ways that you can approach things. And so for me, because I still had this you ain't gonna tell me what to do, black woman syndrome. So every time you come at me with something, I'm on that defense mode, right? But God had to literally be like, Trinette, or he'll break it down, Sean. No, we're not doing that. So I have to step back. I have to step out of myself and say, wait a minute, that's not what a wife is supposed to do. That's not what a healthy relationship.
And say, well, if he'd approached me like that, how would I have?
Exactly. And that's what I've been learning, because I was like, both of us agreed when we first got together. I don't want to argue. I don't want to go through no mess, this, that, another.
We don't argue.
Right, but it's a difference. Exactly. It's a difference.
But it's not an argument, though.
Right.
An argument
What's
is
up, Mike? And there's a lot of people will literally that whole cussing and calling out folks name and I don't know how people do that. Like I don't understand that.
And my wife said you have this thing where you would literally just
I
This is
was
like, and my thing is I have two options. I can respond or I can shut down.
Yeah.
And you don't want me to respond.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I've
be
had to
who I
learn
am.
that
and
I
see,
get from 0 to 100 real quick.
but I
Yeah.
can,
The
I
simplest
can
thing.
respect that too, because you have those people that are being who they are, and then once they sit up here and chop you with their tongue and they come back, you know I ain't mean that. Yes, you did.
Right,
Yep.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Yep.
You ain't
Yeah.
you
Now
meant
you
what
just
said.
thinking
I
about
always
it.
Yeah.
tell people, I always tell women, be careful how you wound your man.
Yeah.
Because guess what? He coming back to you wounded.
Yeah.
And you caused that wound. And
Right.
sometimes those wounds heal real slow.
Right.
So don't
Right.
get mad at this blood on the sheets because you caused those.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
That's kind of like the episode that we did on with Shandon,
Mhm.
and they were saying, step away from talking, saying the bitter
Mhm.
woman
Mhm.
thing, but something that also we found out about just listening to people,
Yeah.
and we become bitter because we don't take our ownership of, kind of like what you were stating,
Yeah.
about you were doing something wrong.
Yeah.
It's never, everybody's not you're not always innocent
Yeah.
yourself.
Right.
Not saying
Right.
that you may have caused the
Right.
breakup,
Right.
but there are some things that you probably could have done
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And one of those main things was walk the heck away.
Yep.
And because that you stayed, you can't be mad at somebody taking advantage of you.
Exactly.
That's what I had to realize.
Yeah.
And I tell folks, me sitting and it's not that I'm complaining, but me discussing about my ex is not me trying to put her on a chopping block.
Right.
I'm
Right.
explaining the things that happened, but I still have to say I
So,
stayed.
yeah.
So I can't be mad at her.
Yep.
None of this, what I say and talk about, is me throwing anger or wanting folks to go and throw pitchforks at her. Oh,
Right.
It's not pitchforks. I'm
Yeah.
from Louisiana. We say a hit dog go holler. A hit dog gon' holler.
Yeah.
So
Reese say
you
I'm
just hit a couple folks. to the
right,
side,
and it's like, ah.
Yeah.
so they gonna holler. But and it's true. A lot of people don't understand. First thing you gotta do is know when you're the toxic one.
Yeah.
Know
Yeah.
your role.
Yep. That's
I know
true.
I have a mouth on me.
That's
I know
true.
that I have the gift of stating the obvious things to people that sometimes should not be stated to them.
No,
Right.
Because
it
it could be picking or prying.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
should be.
Sometimes I can take my, comedic side a little far.
Now that's my problem.
That's
my issue.
And the thing is, sometimes I just really, I have my grandma's mouth, and I just don't care. Sometimes I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and look at you.
That's
and
that Taurus.
If you gonna jump, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
That's them Tauruses. So mine is Taurus, and me and him had to have them.
My son like that.
Yeah.
If I feel like you done hit me below the belt, I'm gonna come back with something sharp. And you're gonna be looking at me like, dang, you ain't have to be so honest right now.
Now see, that's how I feel.
I'm gonna turn to the rib. Your rib, you too. I'm gonna turn right there and hit that all day.
That's
You
how-
want to take it down?
That
That's
rib.
how I've gotten with the hit situation. I'm like, if you gonna be, and I'm saying, man enough to sit and try to knock me, you man enough to take a lick.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you shouldn't be. Like
Should-
you
yeah.
shouldn't be passing lick.
See,
Reese says
I
I'm never
just never been afforded that because I'm a big old black man.
right.
So I no,
Yeah.
no, I've
Yeah.
never in my life, I've never hit a woman.
Yeah.
I don't
Never-
want to.
I've taken some shots, and my boy came to save me. But I just knew in my case, if I hit a female,
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
and I teach my son that because he's my twin, and he's
Yes.
following in that size. I'm like,
Yeah.
son, I get it, but what you have to understand is you're not the average person. So
Yeah.
when you hit somebody, you ain't just hit like that's a woman. You
So,
gonna hurt her.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
mean about that is,
tried that once. And he's a big dude. He like
Going to
6'3",
jail.
250.
Yeah.
And he ran back at me. I said, "Oh, that's what we're gonna do."
Yeah.
And I squared out with him
so, but
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
because I'm like, "Oh,
Wait, are you left or right?
First of all, you hitting me."
Are you a left or right?
And I'm like, we were but it was just like, we just having a conversation. Like, it's a disagreement.
Yeah. But if you can take
You're
it,
already bigger than you louder
Yeah.
than me. So, and when we disagreeing, but you ain't got to.
And I mean
right.
that as a
sister.
defense mechanism
Mhm.
because,
Yeah.
again, you got to think women nowadays seriously are very vindictive.
Mm-hmm.
And when I mean vindictive, I mean physically vindictive.
Yeah.
And if you get to the point to where I have to start defending myself, I am going to defend myself, jail or not.
Yeah.
That's something I told me. You know, you do not hit someone, but you do not allow yourself to get hurt.
Exactly.
Because people are killing people now.
Right.
Just because they saw you with somebody.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, we just read what was a TikTok we saw? It was a TikTok. We just seen a TikTok. This woman sitting up here saying that she saw her man with another woman doing the same stuff that she done to her, and it made her feel bad. And she wanted to go over there and talk to him, but she was with her husband and her baby.
You know what?
Death has just occurred.
Right.
The type of people that roll up on you later on.
Right.
And say, I know I saw you with that.
And they lit her.
Right.
This was a married woman with a baby and a man at home.
Talking about her boyfriend.
She saw her side piece in public. And she asking for what she feel this.
I wanted to go
this
hurt
hurts,
but I couldn't because I was.
And she talking about it hurts, and everybody lit her up like
me and my wife sit back and read stuff like this.
Yeah.
Are we living in a bubble?
And that's again going back to that, and that's what I'm saying. Like these relationships are being presented as though they're healthy, and I need to understand what's healthy about that.
Are we not doing something right?
It's assuming so because I don't understand that. Right? Because
first of all, the bringing the third person into the
relationship. That's a whole nother show that we gonna have to talk about that.
That was my marriage.
Wow.
I literally saw my ex-wife go out and be with somebody.
Were you still paying the bills?
I wasn't. I was disabled. Could barely walk.
Wow.
And I'm asking that for a specific reason.
Yes, I was paying some bills.
Yep. But the thing is, and it's just as a man, I'm paying bills in this house and I'm taking care of home.
Right.
Women have to understand that's a lot of pride that goes in with taking care of your house.
Right.
And for another man
to take that place.
And see, that was my thing. That was what stopped me from leaving because I'm like, I'm in this position that I'm in.
Right.
A woman gonna look at me as I can take care of him. I had to get that out of my head.
Right.
And that was one of my biggest obstacles of leaving. That I'm disabled. At the beginning of me leaving, my Social Security was like $400 and some dollars.
Okay.
So I want to be loved, and I want love, but I bring this to the table. I'm moving back in with my parents. Ain't nobody. Actually, I had this. I got back up in a relationship with. I got in a relationship with someone. They didn't think I was going to leave Albany, and they even ran it by my mom. My mom was like, "Baby, if he loves you, he's gonna drop doing whatever he's doing, and he's gonna go.
Right.
He ain't worried about it." And my mom has taught me, I am your mom, but once you find that person, I don't count anymore. It's I don't count. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Women are teaching their boys that.
Yeah.
They're teaching their boys, I don't care what happens. You take care of mama. One thing, the best thing in the world my mom ever told me was that you are not a foundation.
Yeah.
That's not what you're for.
Yeah.
My job is to give you better than what I had, and you do the same thing for your kids.
And it's the same thing with women, though.
They encourage you to go out and get a relationship of your own.
The dad does the same thing to his daughter.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna find another man better than me.
Well, my dad didn't tell us that. He told Reese says, I'm not ever settling to be with anyone who disrespect me once and you're out for good, period. My dad didn't tell us that. My dad did the opposite, which I talk about in my book a little bit, and probably will elaborate in another book about it, because I always say that me and my sister got a double double dose of independence. So my dad was like, don't you ever depend on a man, and when you get married, you make sure you have X, Y, and Z. My mom, and my mom said the same thing. Don't you ever depend on a man, and when you get married, don't be like me or this, that, and other. And I didn't understand because she was, she was a stay-at-home mom. Hey, girl, she was a stay-at-home mom, but at that time, my grandmother, which is her mother, would tell us the same thing. And I was like, why are the women in my family saying never depend on a man or whatever? So what they were saying were, okay, if situations happen, I don't ever want you to have to go to your granddad or your dad or what. even though they raised us, that it wasn't like they didn't, put us against each parent. It was just their advice.
Yeah.
So then I had to start researching, like, what was the advice given to my dad about women from his parents, and the same thing with my mom. And so me and my sister, we end up getting this dangerous dose of independence, and that's the reason why this is how this show was birthed. Because when I got married to Chef, I was still this. You ain't getting up. Look at here. This is my second time. It was like, this is my second time. You ain't gonna disrespect me, right? And God is like, no, this is not gonna be that time. This time you're gonna learn some things differently, and this time you need to listen, because everybody's relationships are different. And then it doesn't mean that every bad thing doesn't mean that you have to. Your relationships don't have to be toxic.
No.
It's okay. You're going to disagree about some things or whatever, but it doesn't have to go this route. You can depend on a man, So I was like, depend on the who? You mean I gotta depend on him? And my husband will tell you.
I still do that to him. He'll do something for me. I'm like, no, you really don't have to.
Right.
I can do it myself.
The first time Chef got I had my first BMW, and oil changes cost money for BMWs. They're like $300 some. And the first time he laid money down on the car. Yeah. Oil change. See, people don't be understanding. Yeah. See, people don't be. Yeah. But see, that's why people don't be budgeting it in. Say, I did my research. You got to budget all that in. So
you're not gonna be in debt for you. It's fine.
Exactly. Right. It ain't for you. It's for us.
What you need? You're a man. You're simple.
So he right. But the first time he, and before I met him, I was already on my schedule with everything: hair, nails, maintenance, rent, all of that. And so when he came into my life, he was like, it's time for your oil change. I said, okay, I got it scheduled. I got everything scheduled. I'm good. He said, well, here's some money. I swear to y'all, on my parents' grave. I sure did. We got an argument. He said, here goes some money for the oil change.
My sister from another mother.
And I said, what the hell you doing? I remember standing in the apartment. He had come over. He said, hey, babe. He was like, you need to get the oil change or whatever. He said, here goes some. It's on the counter. That money stood. I said, who this for? I said, you not paying my oil change? I said, I got it. Like, I'm going in my wallet now. I'm like, payday coming up. I got the money,
Just might.
I was. He looked at me. He said, what in the hell? I said, I said, I got my oil. I said, I got my money for it. I said, it's scheduled for next week. He was like, okay. He said, right.
Next week.
In the words of my auntie,
that wasn't me. That wasn't me. But I never did that.
Hey, listen. The women, listen. They understand, and they were taught, hey, I don't need you, but your help is appreciated.
But for me, that was the first time. But that let me know that I had never been in healthy relationships where the man actually did something for me, because I was always the one who was sliding the car money over to,
man, if you lay there, use the lights, brush your teeth, take a shower,
You gotta pay something.
you better do some.
gotta pay
Don't
something.
you lay up under that woman.
And he literally had to
I was
explain
talking about
this.
women that he said that's the most disrespectful thing, because it's showing her that you ain't worth.
And he had to.
He had a job. He's making more than I was making, but it was like by Tuesday he was asking me, "Let me hold $20."
Right, like exactly, and that's why I was like,
"What you do with the check?"
"What you exactly?"
Or it would be all the bills to be paid, and he'll be looking like, "I ain't got no money left. You took all my money, so now I'm a gold digger."
Right.
But you got life, you got
Exactly.
you got a car, you can watch your favorite channels on TV, you got a phone.
Right,
but my
Shirley.
thing
She's
is, if
so
you're married, how is it separated?
because
That's the thing I'm
because the man. That's
That was
what
his
happened.
concept.
Yeah.
He wanted me to stop working, stay at home and take care of the kids and help with the bills.
Now, I will admit, I have to be honest. When me and my
She said, and help
when
it.
I moved in with my fiance at the time, with Toya, and when she got pregnant, I was like, you need to start working. I'll pay all the bills. But the one thing was, all the money went to one account.
Okay.
Now, I will admit, yes, everything went to one account, and she managed it because I recognized she was better at managing
Oh, yeah,
money
she's
than
better
me.
with
See,
money.
I
Yeah,
was better
yeah.
with money than that.
Yeah.
Play your role. When
Yeah.
you
He
sitting
wanted
in
He
the
didn't take advantage of that.
I assumed
when you
he
at
wanted to
work
be an
and
alpha
you on
male.
the cable line and you doing this number like this, and you're like, oh, I forgot to pay that bill.
Yeah.
No,
No, just
Yeah.
play your role, do what you do, and that was the first thing I had to really learn, and
Mhm.
what I was good at in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not feel like it's a slight on me because I wasn't the greatest money manager. It's just the fact that every time we would spend something, she would pull that checkbook out and she would hit the
Right.
register,
Yes.
Right.
and she would responsibly. And how many fellas actually did that? We try to go off memory. I
Yeah.
spent 23 at Kroger.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
God.
she had 75 in
Got to
there.
be more careful,
got
man.
$50
I
in my
forgot to
pocket.
add that
I got
150
gas.
that I
Yeah.
get over
I
there.
got gas over
Right.
at Rollo's now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like what,
Yeah.
about 45, 50?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Before you know it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Shirley says, I taught my daughter to be independent, but not so independent that you think you don't need a man. And that's where I messed up at. And then Reese says, I welcome my boyfriend, now husband, to pay for everything. And I really did. And we argued about that. He said, look, the money there, if you don't want it, fine, but it's going to be there. And I was like, but I could not believe that here actually was a man. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't have to sleep with him because at this time we were dating, so we were practicing celibacy. So, and here I go.
He over here pointing at me.
I literally, so in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute,
boy,
I ain't slept with him.
and that was the
I
test.
ain't did like,
That was the test right there.
and he would take
Why is he doing this?
Yeah,
Why
listen,
why
because
is
it's
he
true.
upset?
Hey,
Why is he showing up at my
wait a minute, wait. The first time,
Get that when I get out.
right.
if we do all that and y'all don't give us none, oh, we want you.
Wait a minute. The
Oh, we
first
want
time
you to
I
work
got
on
an
it.
actual real purse, a Michael Kors purse, yo, my family would tell you I acted a plum nut because I was like, I said,
I got my bag.
and he said, it ain't fake. He said, I don't know what the other ones did to you. He said, but this right here, I said, oh, okay, I just wanted to know.
Wait. The first time I did the same thing, and I was like, my boy was like, dog, you gonna really go up in there and spend $600 on a purse? I said, bro, I'm going home to the crib to the wife. I said, you don't get, I said, bro, don't call me. Right? Call me tomorrow.
Right.
I promise you.
Like it is so amazing how the negativity of your previous relationships will mess you up. It does. And so that's something I've been detoxing from. Like, my boo got me. Because even though we were still, because even down to going out to lunch or dinner, and we had to have this talk. I think I shared this before. He said, have you ever noticed that when we go out to lunch, the first thing you do is reach for your pocket? And I said, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. And so I was like, no, we're not. No, I don't. So I noticed when we did, I always keep that $20 bill or my card. And I said, oh. And so one day the bill was late coming, right? So the bill just sitting right there. He said, go ahead. You want to pay for it too? I said, no,
You know, we actually beat each other to the cat.
Or he'll have his card out before me and try and send it.
If I get distracted, I turn around, she be like, yo.
Yeah.
I'm good for you. I don't even do that. Because, like, in this first, she's like, you don't even reach. I said, babe, you know what? Did you see that deposit? All of it? I said, hey, anybody,
are you still paying for it?
Exactly. I said, anybody get mad at me, I give her uncashed. We good. I said, hey, all the money she got.
Right, right.
She got it.
But those were the little things that I had to learn that was like, this is part of a healthy relationship because I have been so used to doing everything for the guys in the relationship. I didn't love myself.
People,
You're
you
not
know, you
taught.
could be on a date
Right.
with somebody,
Play the role.
oh man, she didn't even pay for the meal. Like,
Right, right,
so
right.
now I'm getting rad because I didn't pay for the meal.
Exactly.
That you invited me to.
Yeah.
I'm expecting you as a man to pay for
Yeah.
my meal. But at the end of the day, I can say, you know what? If he ain't got the money for it, I got it.
Right, exactly. And then it's
And
like,
it should be okay.
Because she still, and it's not bothering me, but
Yeah.
it's funny. In the inside, she'll still say, "You got it, baby."
yeah, me too. Look, I'd be like,
She be having a little concern.
You know what it is?
look, that's it. That's you feel me? Because I'd be like, he said, don't you do it. He was like,
So I tried to be cool. You know,
Yeah.
And I told him, well, baby, go ahead and pay for the room. He ain't say nothing about it. The room was confirmed. He didn't give me no address, no nothing. So I was like, baby, pay for. I think I asked him like,
Yeah, she asked me a couple times. You reserve the room, baby. You reserve the room. Because the thing was, we normally get, where I go get my treatment at. We normally get this one. We was in this one particular hotel.
okay,
And it just wasn't doing
right.
it a couple times we went. So I wanted to do a little something special. So I was looking through a couple of them. I hadn't picked out which one yet. And then
And she was nervous.
yeah. So she
She was nervous.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
If you ain't paid for it, you use my card.
She was nervous. That's what it was. We be nervous.
I don't do well with surprises. But
Yeah.
So, but you know what messed up?
You look at the bank account. See, you look at you one of them. Look at that account. Oh, he went here.
We haven't got
tell
that.
him what to do with his money.
Right,
We don't
right.
offer.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have a joint.
Yeah.
But we still talk.
Right.
We still talk about our
Yeah.
money, and she can look at my
Yeah.
money, no problem. Cause like when we got to the hotel, we were trying to run the card, and it said, denied. And
Right.
I'm like, no, the money on that.
Right.
And I already know she was already like, no, it's about having to move my savings or whatever.
Right.
Because I'm like, I got the money.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
real. I don't know. I won't say it's complicated. I think if you've been burnt for so long and then you do, like I said, you get into these relationships and you're looking at everybody else who's been together. Like, it's a difference when you're divorced. And that's what I was trying to explain to a friend.
It's taught me 10 years earlier. I'd have been like, you
Right.
to get it.
Exactly.
You got the money to pay for the room. You should have told me that from the beginning.
Yep.
And I would just pay for the room. Let's get through this. And it would have been an argument over nothing.
Yeah.
See, now his ego crushed because I done tried to be the big man and pay for it.
Right.
But you've obviously learned something.
Yeah.
Like all three of us have obviously learned something, because the one common thing I'm taking back from what we're talking about now, we've eliminated a really big issue in a lot of people's relationships.
Yeah.
Finances.
Yeah. Yep.
Like me and my wife, we always joke about it. 500. Because we always like, hey, that's what we started at.
Yeah.
500. To say we came from 500 to right here.
Yeah.
And we remind each other, it's not, we ain't battling each other.
Right.
We on the team,
It's a team.
and that was my big, and the biggest thing I had to realize, I'm the one that's doing the fighting. For what reason? There was none.
Yeah.
I'm taking issues and trauma from the past, and I'm sitting and bring. And she's like, you know what? You don't have to fight at all.
Yeah.
There is no fight. So I'll bust somebody over the head over you, but you gotta fight me.
Right.
And I had to get that in my head.
Yeah.
With my relationship. This is not the other. This is real easy. Like, I have somebody that even when I'm wrong, gonna be up behind my and we'll cut you. We'll cut you. You wrong, and I might go to jail for cutting you.
Right.
I'm still, I'm sitting there like, nah, I'm the one that did it. I did the cut. You know, when you get in a relationship like that and you've learned from your previous, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people right now can't get past finance.
They can't. And and that's part of society's, like, we listen to society.
We can say we have a different dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm a breadwinner.
Yeah. And you
dad.
right. And
But
you have to make that.
Let's be honest. There's nothing easy about being at home, because my wife tried it for a little bit. And she's like, I'd rather go to work.
I definitely know as an independent woman, I can't do it.
And it's not that she didn't want to be home.
When I came into the
I
relationship,
can't determine nothing.
Correct. Like she's like, I have a mind and it works, and therefore I have to use. And I couldn't get mad at that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, I understand. There's no slight on you. You're doing what you have to do. You're bringing money home and taking care of the bills. But I am and somebody told me this, and it's the truest thing. Hey, bro, make her dreams come true. You'll keep it forever.
You know, funny you say that, because you know she's not a brand person.
Yeah,
she's not a brand person. Not knocking anybody.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But she came to me. Well, we both came to each other about our company, and I bake, and she wanted to do jewelry.
Right.
And it just so happened something happened to where all her stuff got stolen, and she talked passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I just went to Amazon right quick, and I got a startup jewelry kit thing for it.
Yeah.
And that's how our
Even though
stuff
I was
started.
like, you didn't have to do that.
She was looking at that jewelry like, you ain't had to get it. It was already in the budget. I was gonna get it.
And a lot of folks, like my son was there the day that she brought me a gift, and it was in I don't know what box it was in. It was in a
no, it was in just a plain blue bag. It's
blue bag. It was a
plain
blue
blue
bag.
bag.
And so my son, and he happy. He was like, oh, she got the gift. And I pulled it out. It was some manila folders.
Okay.
Just manila folders.
Right.
I dang near cried.
Right.
Because for me, I was talking to her about, you know, I got to get some stuff on my filing cabinet, my business and stuff. I want to organize stuff.
Type them out.
And she got me manila folders.
Yep.
I was in a marriage.
Yep.
For 13 years.
Yep.
And I talked about business. I was doing photography and photo stuff.
Yeah.
And it went to her saying, okay, we're going to do this. I got you. I'm going to help you start yours. And then, okay, hey, you know, I need that so that we can, well, I was thinking about, I needed to go do this.
Yeah.
She gaslighted you, like,
okay, all right. So this seemed like
we're
gonna benefit from you doing yours and stuff. And so she literally got to every position that she wanted to get for her.
Yeah.
But she's still not happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from, again, the Black community. We hide our grown folk conversation because it's a grown folk conversation.
Absolutely.
When some grown folk conversation needs to be held in front of our kids.
Yeah.
You know, and I made a post on Facebook about my parents, and I was like, hey, for me, I need to see my parents kiss. Talk, be funny. You know, maybe my dad even slapped my mom on the booty.
Right.
Mama even talked to me about sex.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta give me no description of
Exactly.
I ain't gotta know all that, but just like, and only me being born.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know my mama and them had sex.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard nothing. I ain't never seen them in the room. My mama has now. It's like, you know, this time here and that time. But outside of me being in the house, again, they were on opposite ends.
Yeah.
And so I haven't seen anything. I didn't know anything. So all the stuff that I learned outside. Yeah. And that's the worst thing for a child to learn. Yeah. So outside.
Yeah.
And that's all these kids now are learning outside.
Yep.
Shouts out to Uncle Freddie.
Yeah. You got mail messages from him, y'all. We are live, y'all. We're not in the studio. We're outside. So if you hear the background, and I'm at 42%. I'm hoping that my computer don't go out before the show is over. The Apple discharge, I'm not sure, but
Do you have a cord?
I have a cord. Okay. But if we are live in the studio, the transformer that exploded this morning and knocked out all of the power. But we had to. Oh,
it's a beautiful day on the yard.
Oh no.
It's a C to C.
And so we making it do what it do. We are live. We have LaRon and Lisa here, and they traveled, and we were like, you know what? We gonna make this happen. So we are outside live on this. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Let's see if this will work. Look at here. Woo!
I'm a technical person, so
And I need this.
To the booty.
Okay, because I need this. I need
Because you know.
this one is Walmart. Okay, because I got the other little thingies or whatever. But yeah, so you need to send me a list of what I need. You know.
We got you covered, bro.
Okay, because
We're gonna bring you into 2020.
okay, because you know,
Real you.
I know some things, but you know all this little stuff and whatnot. But we are live on the yard, Morris Brown campus. Rob the green machine. He was like, no, we're gonna make it do what it do.
Right.
We're gonna record out here. So thank y'all for tuning in. We're just having a chit chat about healthy relationships and really exposing that it's okay to have healthy like that is, we need to normalize that. We need to normalize that. So let's switch little girls. Let's switch. I'm thinking about my niece still. Let's switch gears and talk about what is a healthy relationship. Like what are we doing to normalize these things?
There is no normal.
You don't think? Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah,
I don't
It's
feel
like
it's a norm.
it's
I
like-
feel
it's like
do
people.
what works for each.
I'm not
That's
gonna be
true.
like
Y'all just been saying.
Yeah.
And what you know what we the best thing to normalize is communication. That's it.
Yeah.
Because once you communicate, and I was finna say what made the difference. I think what I bring to her is that she knows I have that.
Mm-hmm.
She comes from a situation that her back wasn't covered,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
that comes from.
This is my twin right here. We're gonna write a book together.
Oh, we Sagittarius sisters.
That's right. That's right.
Yes,
Because we done been through the same thing.
Right.
You're right.
It comes like even if it's just money or
Yep.
just the fact that let me lean my head
Yeah.
on your shoulder and let me talk.
Yep.
Had you not been through the past relationships, would you have known to start looking for that?
Mm-mm.
Well, see, that's the thing.
I would know.
I've always, and it's something I tell her. The person that I am now, the person that she's getting, I've always been. The only thing that I've acquired
Mm-hmm.
was a backbone to sit up and say, I'm not going to take you.
Okay,
Me giving you what I'm giving you, and then
Yeah.
you not appreciating it.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I've never every person that I've with, I've given everything that I'm giving to her.
Yeah.
Now one thing I can say that I've added is the confidence
Mm-hmm.
in myself.
Yeah.
Because I did again, my parents, and that's something I like, Mom, it was like a double-edged sword. You tell me that I can be anything that I want to be, and I come to you and tell you that this is the type of job that I want to do. Well, no, baby, you might want to go work at the factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get you some stable money.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just cut my dream down.
Yeah.
I just gave you a dream. And that's something that we were never taught.
Yeah.
Our parents were never taught to push our dreams unless it was one of our kids that was trying to do basketball or football, some sports type thing. The smallest thing is drawing.
Mm-hmm.
It can be profitable.
Yeah.
And we heard something here recently where the person was like, the dude was like, his it was his dad told him, you do something that you can do for free. If you enjoy doing something that you don't worry about
for free all day long
and
without anybody having to
give
pay
your money.
that's your job.
That's gonna be the best job for you.
Yeah. That is so true.
And that's something that I'm doing, like with the baking and whatnot. But I can say what
you have her back.
Yes, and she has.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
as friends first.
Yeah.
He probably thought I was crazy when I first met him because he was like.
But I wasn't trying to get nothing.
Yeah,
we both were.
Like,
it was weird.
I don't even like you like that.
She said that a lot.
So nice to me.
Yeah.
Like, what you
Oh, y'all
doing?
say that.
Yeah.
And it been in the back of y'all mind.
Yeah.
You do have some good quality.
Yeah.
Like that song playing in the back of their head, like they just waiting.
Yeah.
Like it's like they in the car and the windows
Yeah.
rolled up.
Yeah.
You can't really hear it.
Yeah.
Man, they know.
Yeah.
I think my thing was I met her 2017. I when I got back home, I transferred all my medication over, and I love telling this story.
He even wrote a song about it.
Oh, like seriously, I got to rap.
Really?
Yeah.
I met her 2017. Transferred my stuff over. I actually met another cashier first that I was just going back and forth with, really joking with her, and then that young lady stopped coming and I started dealing with her
Mhm.
more a little bit. And I don't know. Only thing I can say, God said, tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
You get yourself together right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we just talk and,
Yeah.
and it just felt comfortable,
Yeah.
you know. And
I feel like I was just doing my job. I didn't remember the
I'm gonna tell you now. Now here's person. I'm sorry. Every time I go to her job, I'm getting a little bit more piece of her life. You know, she's just telling me, right?
Right.
She don't remember none of this. She cannot tell you anything. Excuse my French. I didn't remember everything she told me. Right. And so, me, and she'll tell you when she saw my medicine list, she thought I was crazy. And
because I didn't know he had MS. I didn't
was
know
okay.
none of that
I
was.
was
I
on
didn't
like
know he
32.
was disabled.
Okay.
I didn't know he had just relearned how to walk and was
I was 32
I didn't know he had lost like over 100
times.
pounds, 100 pounds and all that. I didn't.
Right.
She just saw my medicine list and was like,
Ooh, he cute or whatever, but some he got an issue, a couple of issues. He got some things that need to be.
yeah, so she already had to put me over in a box
Saya
already.
is cracking up. She said, Lisa.
I mean, not being rude.
Yeah, but
Like,
She really just put me over in a box. Like,
I definitely had compartmentalized him in the okay but not okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
That was going on first category.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I definitely learned. I've already felt like this before, but I learned definitely then that, man, what was that word again, baby? Because you know I can't say
Compartmentalized.
Compartmentalized women. They
Uh-huh.
automatically, I automatically know.
Once they see you, they know.
And even if we
Wife.
haven't met, haven't talked,
Mhm.
and we still need to get to know each
But
other.
that's the
But
truth, though.
it is.
Yeah.
And most women will ignore.
Yes.
We will tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be honest, you're not the one, but we cool. We can be friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could change him.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
He's just not here with us.
Yeah, right.
I set up as
I'm-
a challenge. Like,
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not
I'm gonna
looking
be
at
the
you
one.
to marry you.
Yeah.
We could be
Yeah.
friends, and
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
But
And
you
they
call me
asked
a
it. You
dog
could be
lady.
honest with
Right.
me. You could be honest with me. If you just want this, you can, you know.
And then
Right.
fast forward 12 years later,
Yeah.
we still
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
I told you you wasn't the one.
Yeah.
I told you I wasn't gonna marry you. But women actually think that we're just joking or just saying that. No.
And
Yeah.
some
When a
women
man
get
see you, we know
Yeah.
automatically.
And some women will get
That's where
offended
that
and they get
bit-
yeah.
mad and they be
bitter
like, well,
syndrome
it's
come
still
in.
a woman's
That's
choice.
where that
though.
bitter
Yes,
syndrome
it
comes
is
in.
still the woman's
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
But you can't jump in somebody's brain and say, oh, you gotta
Thelma, you can't
That's
make me,
not
Thelma.
gonna
You can't make me.
Yeah, and I did a TikTok like that. I just explained that a man knows what he wants. And a lot of women
Yeah.
like, but it's still our choice. I didn't say it wasn't your choice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I'm not there at the altar with you,
Yeah,
you gonna
Yeah.
say I
Yeah,
stood
yeah.
you up or told you the truth. Which one?
exactly. Yeah, so she I changed my diet. I stopped taking my medicine. I sat and I prayed. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I do not want to take all these medications on board. I
Yeah.
know I don't need all this medication.
Yeah.
And I was gone for like 6 months. I ain't gonna get my medication for 6 months.
Wow.
Literally. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't
You
stepped
was
in.
getting ready.
I stepped in Walmart, but I ain't go back in there. So I
Right.
hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
And last thing I remember, I know she was saying that she was having issues with her marriage and stuff. And,
Right.
But no. Actually, she was trying to work it out
Yeah.
and stuff. And so I personally, me in the back of my head, I took that as in, I'm not worried about it because I don't want to wreck a home.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Even though I'm looking as in, I feel like I've gotten this spirit and that's who I'm
Right.
supposed to be with. But now maybe I was just reaching.
Yeah.
And so I went through that little aspect with my medicine and stuff. And then God funny.
He is.
God funny.
He is very
so
funny.
I'm in my room, like literally just sitting minding my own business. And I get hit upside the head. Go get your medication. I'm like,
Bro,
we had this conversation like 6 months ago. I'm not taking this medication no more.
Right,
I
right.
need you to fill every single medication.
Right.
And I need you to go get it.
Right.
Right? And so I'm like, it gotta be a concept of this. Okay,
Yeah.
I get to Walmart, right? And she sees me. I see you in so long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her a chick because she'll remember this chick. I'm behind the counter, out the door. You know when a woman side hug you, what that means?
You're a
You're
friend. You're his
right?
friend. You're a friend.
She got boob to boob contact, right? She chest to chest me, right? And I'm like, oh.
She like I call it the Lettians.
Yeah.
The
That's
oh
what it felt like. I'm like, oh, This why you sent me
When
go
you,
get
when
my
you take that deep breath,
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this why you sent me go get. This why you sent me go.
I
I get
do
it now, right?
not recall doing
Listen.
any of
in the back, in our mind, nights like this, I wish
Yeah.
that raindrops would fall. I mean, in our mind, what are you doing? You taking it all in?
And you know what? The sad thing, but then she crushed it because then she was like, you know, I don't move down. And I'm still, oh, yeah. I done moved
Right,
down,
right.
and you know everything. I'm moving on and stuff, and then
I was dating around.
I'm actually talking to somebody, and we're going on a date. And I'm like, God, to be more careful. You really sent me up here to get embarrassed like that.
Remember, they just date. They ain't no commitment.
Sonya said God
Overseas.
sent you to go get your
Overseas.
queen.
Yeah,
Overseas.
He did though. Cause the thing was, that she was telling me about this person, right? And so me, my little ego that I'm starting to get, and she telling me like, oh, he got this, and he got that. Well, I got a company too. I got this. I'm doing. I said, what you do? I bake. So for real, I'm a little fat girl. You know, I'm a fat girl hard. You know, I bake cinnamon rolls and stuff. And, yeah,
Sugar cookies.
and then she's like, it's my birthday, right? I said, you know what? I'm gonna fix you, cinnamon roll for your
Right.
birthday. And it just so happened on her birthday, at her cinnamon rolls, we met at the gas station getting her cinnamon rolls. I'm getting a rental car to get my son from Mississippi. And here this beautiful woman getting out of her car coming towards me. And I'm like taking back. I'm like, dang, you look nice. Like, well, I was gonna go on a date, but he stood me up. And she asked me, what you finna do? I'm like, God,
be with you for the rest of your life.
that's what I wanted to say, but I had to go get
For the rest
He
of your
was
life.
going to Mississippi to pick
get
up
my
his son.
son.
Yeah.
You about to
But you know,
We want to work something out.
but it was funny. He gave me the food, and we sat in the car and talked for like 30, 45 minutes.
Wow.
And we just talking, and I mean,
And we have not talked since.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey,
You actually a cool dude.
Look, love connection. When God put that together, I mean, wow.
And I still was for a while, hesitant because I've been through enough in my marriage. I was like, right. This is cool and all. We're getting along great. But it's got to be consistent like this. Be who you are. If this is who you are, stay who you are.
We actually became friends and business partners first.
Okay.
We became friends and business partners because we started talking about business. And we sat down and we realized that we really wanted to, we've gotten where we were supposed to have been in our ex-marriages faster together than not getting anything from back.
And I can attest to that because me and my husband, we were, again, like, he's the inspiration behind the radio, behind this broadcast. Well, YGM, because he was that support. He's still that supportive person. But I've gotten far with him in the 4 years that we've been together. We'll be celebrating our 4th year anniversary, y'all, in June 16th. Yeah.
Slow down and listen.
Yeah. And I have to take all of them because one thing I didn't learn at first, I know, son, you're right, that I love their story. Like, that's so, and then it's like, you become friends. And see, before I was never friends with any of the guys that I dated, and even my ex-husband, I wasn't friends. It was just like, you cute, I'm cute, we're gonna get together, and boom.
I thought I was.
If I can't talk to you, then
right. And but whereas
we together?
Exactly. So this time I had to learn how to be friends. And like you said, it was like, oh, okay, well, he cool, because I wasn't interested in him. It was like, okay, we
She
cool.
still ain't interested.
We've already had that discussion. We've already had a discussion. That was a low blow.
But I love your story. So this is part of you all's new journey, coming from the backgrounds that you've come from with the divorce and now moving forward. What does the healthy relationship look like now? What is it? What makes it healthy for you all?
Communication.
Again, I gotta go back to communication.
Compromise. Making sure.
Now, compromising does not mean that you lose yourself.
Right.
Find what works for both of us.
When a woman hears compromise, she automatically thinks it's submission.
Right.
But a woman can't submit properly if a man is not submitting to his wife.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's the problem that men get. We got this alpha male type syndrome type thing, and I get it. And oh, I'm paying all the bills, so you basically just need to listen to what I'm saying. That's not a team.
Yeah.
Nope.
That is not a team.
Sonya said, I'm waiting on the love story, a book from this love story. I know, right?
Yeah, it's not a team.
Yeah.
And in order for us to be in a healthy relationship, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like he was saying, I know she's and she's teaching me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I saw my mom Dalisa.
This is the most money he's saved in a long while.
Yeah.
Actually been able
And I'm
to
41 years old.
Yeah.
Money and still be able to have other stuff.
One of the things my wife told me was, I want you to be able to trust me with everything, including your money, because with black men, sometimes that is tied to your pride. Now,
For them,
it's not that it's tied to our pride. A real man takes pride in being able to supply for his family. And a lot of women don't understand that's a source of, like, when your family's doing good.
Yeah.
Like you can stand in the hall and watch everybody just walk, like you sit there like, you know what?
Yeah. Like I did. That's
mine. And it needs to be, because there's people don't see that there's black families out there that look exactly the way like our counterparts do.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
We do the same exact things, teach our kids. Like he was saying, it's important for your children to see mine too. You don't see me, like at the last week. What are you doing back there? I mean,
but you
know, it's teaching my daughter one thing. My daughter's not dreaming about a wedding.
Yeah.
She's not dreaming about a wedding.
Yeah.
She's dreaming about somebody who loves her as much as her dad loves her mom.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. I will tell her any day. I say, I love y'all to death, but y'all gotta understand something. It started with this black woman right here.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind saying that she comes first, because if her and I are good, that means you double good.
Yeah. Right.
Stop saying, well, I miss my kid. No.
Yeah.
Make sure your wife is good. Because when y'all on the same page together,
the kids
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the things, like, you know, there's certain things my wife will just say, you know, we ain't on the same page right now.
Yeah.
No, we need to get on the same page.
Yeah.
And
going back to that communication. Yeah.
And I'm married to a speech pathologist.
Yeah.
So not communicating is not an option. Yeah. I've been on silence.
She reads your body language.
Right.
You can't get away with nothing.
But know what? I have a rule about that. I said, you don't have the right to tell me how to display how I feel.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'm a human being, therefore I have emotions, and you can't get mad at me if this is the way I display.
But that's healthy though, because
correct.
She still allows you the space to be.
But she had to learn that.
Yeah.
I can't use what I know against him. Yeah, you know, when I start doing so, you've shut down.
Yeah.
I said, the thing is, what you have to understand is that black people are going to have their emotions. You got to let them.
Right.
The worst thing you can do is not let somebody have their emotion at their time, because it's going to come out some other kind of way, and it may not be healthy.
Yes. That's the 12 stone. Literature, it's called a fair fight, and it just basically, in a nutshell, something happens to where you need to talk about it. You might can't talk about it in a day, but you schedule.
Yeah.
But now, by you scheduling it, that don't mean that y'all finna sit up here and walk around each other mad with each other, not talking.
Right.
Yeah, we schedule arguments.
You know, it's not,
he says it's not an argument.
we need to have a fair fight. The best thing that she brought to me is my ability to, if I feel uncomfortable about something, is that my very first uncomfortable discussion with her was a trigger that I didn't know that I had.
About that phone.
The phone. My ex, when I knew she was cheating, the phone was
upside down.
Always upside down. Always upside down.
And I'm
I can never touch it.
Doing it because when we're having quality time, my phone is not a distraction. Now, if the kids aren't with us, then of course I had a phone by me, but I have it turned upside down, and I didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah.
But it would have been an argument if he'd have flew off the handle at me and not told me that, and I would have had the ears.
I didn't even know what the trigger.
Listen to say.
And one day we were watching TV, and I just so happened, it was like one of them little shell shock things. like I'm like,
did you hurt? I thought he was, sick or something.
Let me,
He was like, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I did it a couple of times. But I'm like, what is it that I'm doing that's got you?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I did to resolve that. I did the ultimate thing. There's no lock on my phone.
Oh no! No, it wasn't no lock.
And my wife mentioned, said, I said, you know what? There's no lock on it. Go ahead.
Right.
One day she dug in. And it was funny because she's like, what is this? What is this? And then I explained it to her. She's like, oh. I said, go ahead.
The thing about that is, see, again, I'm not a prior.
Yeah.
But he has the passcode to my phone.
Yeah, we
right.
have passcode. We have the face thing. And again, I found out it was a trigger because back then I could never pick up her phone. If I picked up her phone, she, what you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
I'm clueless. I'm clumsy. I'll leave the phone anyway.
Yeah.
It probably sitting right in front of you.
It had gotten so bad with her. And again, like I said, I'm not a prior. But God still gave me signs where he always sat me in the right place at the right time, but I just never I never responded the way that I should have. Left.
Opportunity in my
Right.
I didn't leave. I'm like, gold. He sat off everything like bam.
Yeah.
And
we don't listen sometimes.
Yeah.
We don't listen.
Yeah.
I had a couple of knock me upside the head moments like that too in my marriage. Like, it's your way out. Hey, come on, the door's open.
Can depression make a depressed
So the next
person
question we
lose
have:
interest?
Can depression make a depressed person
I'm gonna
lose
say yes
interest?
because
It can.
my ex was
it can.
When her side piece wasn't going right, she was depressed.
I took it out on him.
Oh, wow.
Because when you can't go outside to get what you want, when you come back home, what are you feeling now?
She got
all them emotions from what's happening.
Going down.
You bringing me on?
That's deep.
Is your phone dying?
Is your phone dying? I don't want to take away your phone.
Go ahead.
That's deep. Yes.
Okay. So you got mail, you guys. We are right, the engineer back there. So we may if mine go out, I think everybody else streaming will still be on. So
we'll move this camera to everybody.
So just in case, you guys, I want us to quickly before, because I'm on 28%. I think you say you're on 20. I want us, LaRon and Lisssen, I want us quickly to know how we can get in contact with you. And because our broadcast may end a little bit earlier than usual, but what is it that we can do so continue to follow you, and how we can follow you all?
We are Mr. and Mrs. Take Over the World on Instagram
and TikTok.
We have a podcast,
the Sofa Pillow Talk, and it's on Google.
It's on every podcast streaming app that you can think of.
Spotify,
Pandora, Spotify. And we talk about uncomfortable situations. We are that gossiping couple. You know how it's based on the concept. Don't nobody gossip more than a couple.
You know.
That's what's good about other
right.
You
like, baby.
And it's part of when you're in a real good relationship and y'all really vibe like this. We have funny moments.
Look, sometimes we having bomb conversations like, damn, we should be recording.
But then we be like, you know what? Nobody gonna understand the code word. Like,
right.
She'll walk in and she'll see. She's like, no mustard.
Right.
None, baby.
It's either like with us, the good thing he doesn't know all of my friends, and I don't know all of his friends. So like we talk, I be like, babe, guess what? He be like, what, for real? And then he'll tell me, I be like, for real? I said, dang, man. I said, well, we good. Come compared to them or whatever. But I love like that. I don't care who you are. If you with your boo, y'all gonna be talking about other couples and other folks. So don't even try it. It's nothing bad. But sometimes it brings in that connection, or sometimes you just like, you know what? Or like for me, I love asking questions. He hates when I ask questions, but that's just an education, right? And then it's like you start learning, yeah, exactly. Because you feel like, well, what would you have done in that situation, or X, Y, and Z? And then next thing you know, you talk about something totally different, and then you're like, oh, okay, or whatever. But so that's a good communication.
Nothing's off the book.
Yeah, yeah.
He probably got a couple of homeboys that be like, you tell your girl everything? Yeah. Between me and you, don't tell someone.
You're right,
the best thing in the world that happens is when my wife learned all my secrets.
Yeah.
Like for real, when like nothing was off the table, when the last thing came, you know, and she was about to run her car through the office building where I work. Out in Gwinnett, she was about to drive clean through. But the best thing in the world was we went through that, and the coolest part about it is, like in the beginning with this relationship, because even though this is my first marriage, this is I was in a relationship previously, and my oldest son, and I learned a lot because when you're in a relationship and you don't know who you are, and the other person don't know who they are, and y'all just trying to put something together, and y'all got a baby in the middle, you can't always expect for it to come out right. That's
what my experience was.
You know, but you have to learn, you know what? I can't let this defeat me. I have to find a different way to do things. And the best thing I did was, like, my wife's actually 7 years younger than me.
Okay. Get uncomfortable to
She's 7 years younger than me.
Right. And the thing was, she was like, hold up. First of all, she said expectations. No woman, and I'm just gonna be real. Older women, she set expectations from the beginning. She has the old soul. And then I met her grandmother. I understood where that came from. Yeah. And she set expectations. You know, you gonna go to work.
right.
You know, she don't say it. She don't. You know what? She don't say it, but she has those facial expressions. If I sit by, God, I don't think she even knows she does it. I may feel a certain way about something, and
like that.
and she has a demeanor of you gonna do it, you know, and so that's already in my head, you know, because sometimes I push myself, with my English and stuff, but my mindset is.
You need to energize somebody.
No, that ain't it. But I feel like,
and that's that balance that we have to bring to y'all. Like you do. I have to tell Chef, I'm like, hey, come on, you should.
Oh man, I gotta go.
It is, yep.
And he's already telling me every morning. He's like, I gotta go.
Right.
No, you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. Right. Yep. Right. Yep. I know it's hard for y'all because me and Chef will go through the same thing. I'll be like, hey, stop and drink, because he does his detox water with his trying to keep the blood pressure down and all that. And I'm like, hey, did you drink your water today? Don't stop telling me. I said, look at here now. I said, health is your wealth, and we're gonna make sure. And he in the kitchen drinking the water. I said, I thought so, because I told you at this point. Yeah, but I've learned to back, and that's part of that healthy relationship, including health-wise, like keeping each other healthy.
That's just one of the baddest things that's been corrupted too. Listening.
Yeah.
Because people that have started to listen use it
the
wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm a listener.
Yeah.
And I love listening.
Yeah.
I listen to her all the time. Because she come home like,
yeah,
because I heard
and
you.
it could just be general conversation. I said something, and I don't really mean it, but he'll go and make sure.
Yeah.
See, my thing is, it's a pitch in her voice that tells me if this can be taken care of, then I might be okay.
Yeah.
And so my mind goes, how can I bring this without causing too much, like especially money wise? So, you know, how can I maneuver this? How can I do this? And that's how I think, and that's what makes us healthy, you know. And again, you can't generalize healthy, because like you said, you're different,
right.
And so but I got to go back to people, and I hate when and I hear this a lot from women. oh, well, his past ain't got nothing to do with me. Yes, it does. Because 5 years down the line, that past just may revisit.
Yeah.
And you cannot sit up here and say, well, I didn't know. And that's why I was going to say, my ex, I fell in love with the person that she gave me.
Yeah.
Not who she was.
Yeah. Yeah.
She gave me a false. She gave me a mask.
Yeah.
And so that's why the first 2 years was like, I was married. But then after those 2 years, you actually literally gave me who you were. And then I'm like,
you checked out on,
See, the thing, my wife didn't let the rep, she didn't do the rep thing. Like, we were dating, we broke up for 2 years. And then after that, she made me earn it. Like, I was driving from Houston to Baton Rouge every other weekend. And she was like, you know what, I'll drive. But she made me earn it. Yeah. And the thing that she learned, and I'm glad she learned it, she loved what my love language was.
What's your love language?
I'm physical.
You physical?
Okay. My wife know, hey, look here. Hold up. And yes, ma'am, you don't get it. Yes, ma'am. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you have to learn each other's. Like, you do. With my wife, the biggest thing that changed our relationship when she realized this man loyal to me. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. She's
I think that since she realized that like, too, because
I said, baby,
I think that's changed with her too.
And what she sees is a whole bunch of women, like, you know how you have the women online on TV, you see all their glorious relationships, and all of a sudden, bam, the dude and cheated with this, blah blah blah, this, that, and she's like, we've been together. She's like, you like, I don't mind even like, I've been in situations. I've been like, excuse me, my wife has a question about the situation between you and I. And I would rather you answer that question right now. And get it over with than go. And that's my thing. She's like, you don't mind I said, it ain't no embarrassment. Because who I'm embarrassing? Nobody. I don't care about nobody else's feelings but hers. Like I'm specializing in Toya's feelings. So therefore, I'm sorry. I may have to ask you.
That should be a groundwork.
You're right.
If what we got is gonna be broken apart by what somebody else says, then it Exactly.
But if I, as a person, I don't mind. Hey, listen, you have and I don't mind clearing that up. And a lot of people take that as being offensive. No, it's not offensive. Right. If your partner, your mate, has a question, answer them.
Exactly.
The biggest thing I did was try to evade the question. When you have a communicator, she said, you know what, we're gonna be at this spot next week, and I'll be there the next week. The next week, all horny and bothered. We at the same spot. Let me tell you something. All this is connected, and when you learn that. Yes, exactly.
So before we end, what are some things that y'all do as for fun as a couple and whatnot?
Everything.
Okay.
This week we've had quite a few firsts.
Because y'all was celebrating your anniversary.
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years we've been together.
Okay. So y'all was celebrating. Y'all been celebrating. Okay, cool. Happy anniversary. Celebration. I'm down on 22%.
You'll make it.
I'll make. Okay, cool. We gonna make it. So, what are some fun things that y'all do to keep your relationship? Because again, I want to continue this topic, and this will be another portion of YGM, and definitely want y'all to come back or which stream or whatnot. But because again, I want to normalize healthy relationships.
One thing,
and I need this message to get out there. We do have fun, we joke, we play. Yes, we're gonna go through some issues, but that's always highlighted, especially in our community, the issues. But nobody really highlights the fun stuff that we do.
We're so goofy.
Our issues to get through. And make it a fun event.
We're so goofy that we can be sexually active, and if something funny happens, we can stop and laugh it off and then get right back.
But see,
I love it.
You made a point. Sex.
A
lot of couples.
It's essential, it's necessary. I'm a woman, and I probably got a higher libido than the average man. Every day.
But a lot of women don't realize, like,
especially if you speak into my love language,
and it puts you on the same page.
And you can
And I want us to actually come back and talk about that, because that's something, and it's no secret, I'm transparent. I struggle with this time that aspect, because there were some other things that affected it with my mom's death, and that affected, and so we don't talk about those things but sex is so important. It's that connection
You can't,
that you need.
if I can't sit, and the bad example of bad sex in a relationship is,
But don't worry, y'all. Don't think my husband neglected. If you mature enough, I need to make that clear, because I did last time I mentioned that, somebody was like, "Sis, no, you ain't my sis." So don't get it twisted. If you mature enough, you'll understand the conversation, because I had to go through therapy and all that, because I didn't realize that my mom's death, it affects everything, so you don't want to be.
I was just gonna say, stuff affect.
Don't Chef is taken care of.
And if you can't, especially a man,
Right.
A man sometimes has if you can't talk about what gets you that uncomfortable, or what gets you aroused, if you don't know who you are, I don't know who I am, and like I can't please her.
Right.
I don't know what pleases her.
Right.
He ain't doing it right. I'm gonna say something. I'm
Right.
No, the blue Mario suit.
Right, sis. Let them know, and I tell them stay in their lane, because people automatically think, oh, no sex or whatever, then you got issues. No, because again, when
no sex is required.
Right, exactly.
She just want me to come and act like Sidney Poitier. I plead not guilty. I mean, if that turn you on, I'm coming in there.
Right.
But a lot of couples don't understand that when it comes to your sexual health, that's the conversation that's something that a lot of couples, I mean, if it was an illness,
you have
transfer of energy.
It is.
Sex, and I feel like you ain't into it. Stop.
Something wrong.
You know
we
what?
not on the
I'm
same
gonna say,
and we need to be talking about.
Okay, beat me up later. So it was just one incident where that actually pretty much happened. You know, I turned over and I started to commence and doing something that I felt that I was good in, right? And I wasn't getting the response that I thought I should have been getting. And then you look up and it's like, hey, would I do something wrong? But she just wasn't. She wasn't there. But the thing about it, what would go wrong is that some men or some women, they keep going. You don't stop and you check in. So I had to, once I saw there was a disconnect, I had to stop. You know, hey, you okay? You know, and that's what we mess up at. It makes it uncomfortable. And then because she could have been going through something, which she was, and I had to console her. Right. And you know, and it kind of made me feel bad because I'm normally a good reader. And I didn't read it enough before I started. And so that bothered me.
It was an issue because I didn't communicate with baby, just not in the mood.
And she just allowed it to go ahead and start. But then once I realized, ain't the same. You know, I normally get a little bit more from it. No, not tonight. Oh, not today. You know what I'm saying?
I got a couple things in my mind.
And I would have been, I'm all right with that.
Right.
Because you're communicating. Oh, okay, cool. So, and then we going on about our day.
That's an issue. Let's be real. That's an issue for a lot of men, especially ones that are in married and committed relationships. They don't know where that boundary is sexually for their partner. They don't know, you have a migraine, babe. This ain't the time. And some guys, let's be real, some men will still push the issue. And it's like,
but it's been 2 weeks.
Right. It's like, well, I got this migraine for 2 weeks. So, you know, obviously it's something wrong. You know.
And the biggest thing men have to learn is it's connected. When you get that mind going with that physical, it's amazing what she will do.
It's amazing what you would do to her when both of y'all connected.
Right. And I have to give that shout out to Chef, because during the time, because even my therapist was like, make sure you communicate that with him, because now, because I didn't communicate that with him. So, and I didn't understand, me and y'all have your feelings too. And so he felt like I was rejecting him. And so after
that, he came to me and he was like, broken. I was like, oh no.
Right.
She really didn't communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one of my problems. And then on top of, he went to the doctor with me. And I always encourage, if you're in a partnership or relationship, go to the doctor with your mate, because it makes a big difference. He went to the OBGYN with me, and this was last summer during my surgery, before my surgery. And he was like, he had never gone to the doctor with his female, his past relationship. So he like, so what I'm on the table and she examining me. He said, they be really going up. I said, yeah, baby, this is what we go through as females. And then the doctor in turn was telling him what was physically wrong with me, that it also messes with the mental as well because of the changes and all that kind of stuff. And so he was amazed with it. He was amazed, and he was like, oh, he said,
y'all are at a healthy point where y'all both learn something.
Yeah.
I'm that one that I'm you need to hold a leg up for your doctor.
Look, I had to tell him to go. He had the doctor laughing in the room. She had just moved out. She said, you know what? I said, please excuse me. He like, damn. And I was like, babe, get over there, sit it down.
When you in that good, right? When you hear and you see the scale.
Yeah.
And she look at you and she's like,
don't say
it. It's like you a damn Avenger. You sworn in this secrecy.
Right.
I'll never tell, babe.
But that communication is so key. And then it's like, again, when it boils down to the sets and the intimacy, and it not just necessarily the physical setup, but the intimacy. Exactly. Because I shut down, I wouldn't talk, and then he understood. He was like, oh, and I said, my mom, he understood all of that, but he understood more when I started communicating, because I didn't say anything. And the therapist was like, no, you got to communicate that with him because he doesn't understand, And so when I started opening up about that, it made everything a little bit easier for the both of us, because
now he knows how to respond a little
exactly.
That's another part of how
I got you. I support you. I'm here for you.
Yep.
That's the other part of how
exactly.
you make the relationship healthier is you don't have to be open with me.
Right.
But
right.
You have to be open with him.
Yeah.
It's like when it goes back to that secret thing. And it was like we finna go on our first vacation. Yeah. And again,
I didn't know him. We were just friends.
And I'm bringing her up here because and one of those situations where again she wasn't used to it, and I had to set everything up. And had routines and everything paid for and stuff.
Now mind you, I had a pocket full of money.
She just wait. She like, if he messed up, right. She like, I'm ready. I got my purse. I can call somebody to come and get me.
In your mind, you were already expecting for something to go wrong. So you had expectations of things going wrong.
Yes, because that's what you was
that's what we were used to.
And I also had to learn to communicate that with him too. Like, I've been through this, and this. I've been here, and we done had.
Because she was like, "This is my first vacation, and I didn't have to.
Oh my God! I told Chef the same thing. I said, babe. I said, I'm just so sorry. I said, this is the first time that I've not had to pay for my dinners and getting gas. I swear to you. I swear.
Feed me, so I'm a fat girl. I'm like,
I was like, this is the first time that I've had to do,
order whatever you want.
Right.
Hey, listen.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with telling your mate that there's a battle going on in my head. Here's how you fight. Here's your weapon. Like, just as long as you give me the weapons, and I had to do that because there's nothing wrong with having trauma. But when you unfairly don't prepare your partner and give them the guns that they need to fight the battle with you. And when I did that and I got on the same page, totally different ball game.
Now here's the kicker. You go through your trauma, and something me and my girlfriend has always taught me. Go through it. It's okay to feel how you feel, but don't stay there. And many of us, we stay in these trauma. We stay in the trauma, and then we expect
go back sometimes.
You go back sometimes. Right, but you gotta move forward, and you gotta say, you know what? it did happen. But now God blessed me with something new.
So now
And
you
you
got
know,
the tools you need.
You
right.
And you know what?
Right.
I'm not gonna do it.
You
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
forgive yourself for allowing
Yeah.
yourself to put yourself through
Yeah.
that, and you move on because you can't change that.
Right.
No.
And that's what happens with a lot of women when they say, I can't find no good man. Stop saying that.
Yo.
The thing is, we don't.
In front of you, but what are you doing to find
Right.
Are
Exactly.
you putting yourself in front of the good man the right way?
Yeah. Because I'm like, if God did it for, and I tell people all the time, if God did it for me, because my heart was black as this dress, I refused to give another man anything. And it was it was God's love and the love of other healthy relationships around me. See, he placed me in the midst of other people that say, it's okay, you go, healthy relationships look like this.
Mhm.
So all black men are not the same, all men are not the same, but you have to be willing to. And it hurts me when I hear women say, well, I don't want this, and I'm looking like, so you really do want this perfect man that does not exist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're telling me that you're perfect, that you don't have any issues. So when when I hear women talk like that, they shut down, because I'm like, I had to do, before I got into this relationship, I had to do a full examination of me. Yes, my ex-husband did what he did. There's no denying it. And I thank God that we're not together, and I knew everything that was divine order. But before I can go into another relationship, I had to step back. I had to look in that mirror and say, Trinette, what did you not do? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really had to take accountability for what you did. I used to nag. I used to,
I feel like I didn't nag enough in my
right. Okay.
I felt like I shut down too much.
Yeah.
Back too much.
Yeah.
I didn't say too much because I felt like if I emasculate him, he gonna feel like he ain't the man.
Yeah.
He's the kind of person. Oh, you ain't gonna do that to me.
Right.
You
Right.
always
Right.
Last word. You ain't gonna cut me down.
Right.
I'm that man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're gonna sit down and you're gonna learn. And
he's threatened by this.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
20-year age gap. So I was really mature for my age.
Yeah.
But he didn't think so because of his age.
Right. Right.
Well,
so you have to move forward.
Right,
like,
right.
There are healthy relationships. There are good men. There are good black men out here, ladies. Okay. Good black men who want the same things as you do. Exactly. They're not. They want the same things that you want.
And the thing about it is you can't identify ugly with looks.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Ugly comes from the inside.
Yep.
You can be fine as hell on the outside.
Exactly. And don't respect you.
I've been with.
Picking at me. He's not the ideal man that I would like.
Yeah,
because somebody tall.
I've known with her.
That's what I think. I see.
That's what she thought she needed.
Right. And that's the thing about it. It's what you need in your life. Because I just swore up and down. I said, I don't want another 6'4" man. Who do I have? A 6'4" man. But it's what, and my great aunt told me when I got married, before we got married, she said, God sent you who you need. And I was like, you know what? And everything else was in that package. You know what I'm saying? The looks, all of that. It's in that package. And when I tell you that's my homeboy, that's my boy, because I know what I needed was somebody who was going to protect me, who was going to show me we can do these things.
You know what? Before we even got in a relationship, she was doing for me that I didn't think was possible.
Yeah.
Like, she went to my oncologist. It was an oncologist?
Urologist.
Right.
I'm having some issues with my prostate. We was friends.
Right.
And I was like, hey, can you go? She's like, sure.
Right.
Right. Well, okay, yeah, come on.
Yeah, right.
I like you anyway, but you don't really know that. You're not really paying attention. But that's okay, though.
But I see what she was doing, though.
Yeah.
I see what she was doing, though.
That's Sagittarius. Right.
Let me tell you something. When I go in, I'm going in. I know everything.
Right.
About this black man. I know his DNA. The whole man. So when I go in, I'm going. But there's nothing wrong with that. Most people don't learn. When you learn who you with sexually, when you learn who you with physically and mentally, when you learn that you guys are traveling the same path, and that you don't have to fight each other, it's an amazing relationship that you have. And people gonna look like, you know what, that's a made up. No, it's not.
No, it's
My thing was, before we went on that vacation, and I'm like, because again, I had another talk with God, right?
Yeah.
We went on this, before we get on this vacation.
Like, dude, you really could have kept that to yourself. You ain't have to tell me.
But see, God was like, you know, you gotta tell him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just friends. We
No,
just going on
no,
a.
no, 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 no,
We
no,
ain't
no.
gotta- you
No,
ain't
no,
gotta
no.
tell me.
Right.
After the vacation, God, because you know we ain't gonna go if I tell her we ain't gonna go. He was like, you know, you're gonna have to tell her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, man, I sat in that car and cried. I'm like, I got this. And she looked at me and was like, why you telling me that now? Why you telling me that? I gotta think about this. I'm
I'll
like,
be like,
you know
what? I'm gonna tell her next Wednesday.
That's what I'm saying,
The boat died.
But the thing, what surprised me and made me realize that I had what I needed and I looked for.
Yeah.
She came back and
I had to look at the situation from the outside.
Yeah.
And that's what she did. And that there just basically for me, I knew God was telling me exactly what I thought he was telling me.
Yeah.
But I had to show.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was resistant.
Yeah.
Very resistant. Very resistant. Very resistant. I actually, when I first met her dad, I told her dad, hey, I know this may sound strange.
This conversation happened when I was not around.
She didn't know. I said this might sound strange, but I want to pre-ax for your daughter's hand. And he looked back.
My daddy just gave me a
He's like, oh, cool. Me and him just like me and him like just He's like, oh, yeah. And
but again, my dad had never experienced anybody coming and asking.
Yeah.
And I think it happened maybe once or twice, but he was. I think this time he felt comfortable. You know, my dad told me prior to getting my first marriage.
Right. Yeah.
That might not be the one, baby.
Yeah. We still did it.
I was like, oh, daddy, I can do it.
Yeah.
Girl,
We don't listen.
I can learn, baby.
Right. Yeah. We don't listen.
But it's a real thing when a man really wants you. They
Yeah.
don't show you.
Yeah.
They don't act a fool.
Yeah.
You don't get the Jerry curl up here and shit. Think that is cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're going to do all the crap.
Right.
And the thing is, she's going to accept that.
Yeah.
And not clown you about it. And you know what? He mine.
Yeah.
I know he's silly.
Yeah.
She does it a lot. Yeah.
You got mail messages from him, you guys. We are coming to a close of another great show. And this was a special show, y'all.
This is the first one outside.
I know.
We hated for it to be under these circumstances.
Yeah, but it worked out perfectly. We did it. Yeah, right.
What time is broadcasting on me?
At 12. And look, we made it. Yeah, look, y'all. Thank you, Jesus.
Everybody about to go dead.
Right. We all the battery percentage.
I apologize. I have a Sam's phone.
So you know what, you guys, I really thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you, sis. You said another awesome show, because I really didn't want y'all to go back. You know, we have been planning this because I think the first time we changed the dates and whatnot. So God, thank you, Jesus, because it was really a good show. That again, one of the movements that I want to continue is showing what healthy love looks like, especially in our community. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we got to normalize this, you know. Exactly. We are learning as we go. So I before we leave, Sonia said, LaRon, at least I'll wait on your book. Olivia, thank you. She said, look great. So we on the outside of Morris Brown campus. Y'all see the campus in the back, y'all. Y'all see that? The sound effects of the city, you know, of the city. You know, we here in the city, you know. So again, it was.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, hey, alumni. How you doing? So,
got something going on here? No, I want to know if I want to update some records.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna continue, but so LaRon and Lisa, let us know exactly again, where can we find you?
Is
the podcast is The Sofa Pillow Talk. It's on all podcast platforms. And you can find us on IG and TikTok at Mr. and Miss Takeovertheworld.
and it's AND and Mr.
Mr. and Mr. They got the shirts, y'all. Can y'all see that? Can y'all
Mr. Takeover?
like they are uniforms? Y'all said you. Oh, can they see your outfit? Oh, look at she got the t-shirt dress. Look, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. And tune into them, you guys. I love it. I listen to them. What day is your show?
So far, even on Facebook, we have the
Real Talk.
The real
Talk.
right.
The Pillow Talk is a spinoff of the Real Talk.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
That sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So I can't wait to have you come back. Tank, what you got going on?
Oh, we are Tank the Sports Guy.
Yeah.
Commercials. Just trying to take everything in.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the entire fam and DTN TV. So we're gonna be shooting some more commercials and wife's getting invited. Oh
yeah.
Our dinner this. I'm excited about the dinner.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Is she good?
Absolutely.
Right. I'm so glad. I can't wait to meet. Are y'all gonna be able to join us? Or it was at 3. It's at 3 tomorrow. Okay.
3-hour drive, so
just let me know because we're gonna do it again. This
couples laugh.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it again. This is.
Ain't no telling when he get back.
And I ain't gonna get to work until 10 o'clock.
Okay, well, y'all, because we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna keep this going. You know, I just feel like couples need to surround themselves with other healthy couples. That doesn't mean that you best friends or anything, but you get to exchange, you know, some ideas and just
bad things.
Yeah, it's
got to throw something out.
Yeah.
Came across another thing where this woman was talking about being in a relationship with this dude that staying with her, but he got his own place. They supposed to be working their credits out together, but they ain't together. But he's staying at her apartment, got his own apartment, ain't paying bills, and she answering all her own questions to get out this relationship. But then she asking everybody, "What should I do?"
See, yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do it. Right.
Even though we never thought we would be in this position.
Yeah.
I never thought I would be sitting at something.
Yeah, I've always said
right.
Every time I told her, you know, God said this.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what he told you, but I ain't see it. But
okay. Right.
It's kind of like a Baptist preacher. I don't believe you. You know,
yeah.
You were like the Q dog in college and bar. I believe you.
Right.
I know you've been through some things.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to hear.
I can still respect it because she just said I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But as long as you're showing me,
I
can't help but. And that's what she's been doing. And I've been showing. And
if I were blind and couldn't see, I think I've
she'll still feel it.
Trust into
him
that I could say, you know what, he ain't gonna leave me down wrong.
Right.
Correct.
Olivia says some of us are jaded by love, and unfortunately things happen. But I was too. And that's why I always say, if God did it for me, He could do it for everyone else. And I want again, follow me at I am Trinette L. Collier. Again, you know, I am a certified relationship coach. So if you need my services or whatnot, book me. The summer is coming up. I am officially on summer break. It's gonna be a hot wife summer, and it's gonna be ain't gonna stop me, and you know. So yeah.
I'll do the links.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I want y'all again. Thank y'all so much. Rob, thank you so much for hooking this up. Look, that's how you do it. So you got mail messages from him, you guys, until next week again.
I was holding it down for you, sir.
We have one. So until next week.
DJ, you want to DJ?
DJ.
Okay. I'm gonna do Carl Brown.
Right. So, until next week, you guys. Hopefully the electricity will be on, and literally it's not on, so that lets you know that hey, I'm so glad we went forward with these plans. So thank y'all again for supporting YGM. Look for some new things that's happening coming soon. So until next week, we are out. Peace, you guys. Woo, we did it.